Thank you for stopping by today. First, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Marvin. I'm from the lovely state of Nebraska, where I earned a bachelor's degree in natural science. And for fun, I love watching movies. I enjoy animals, both small, big and small, and I love music. And just for the hell of it, I'll tell you that I've been fat all my life. And I do want to tell you up front, though, I'm not, I don't want to be considered or fall into that same group of people that you people call the fat acceptance movement, because that's definitely not who I am. I'm definitely not part of that group. I don't really feel good about being fat. I don't like being fat. I don't think it's good for your body to be fat. I don't enjoy being fat. Like I said, it's not healthy, it's not fun, it's not fantastic, it's not awesome, definitely. But I'm proud of who I am. I like being Marvin, and just it's just a description, I think, and it's not the whole package. It's just one simple thing. That's all it is. But I'll tell you, I've been on a lot of diets, a lot of uh, throughout my many years. I've been on many diets throughout my life. Some of which my whole family has been on together, and I can remember most of them. I remember once I was at a Weight Watchers, sitting down, and quite seriously, the chair couldn't hold my weight. I swear I heard it cry because it broke underneath me, and I was embarrassed by the whole thing. So I just sat there pretending that everything was fine and nothing happened, and it was just one of those things that you do. I think that's what allow myself to accept that things were just fine. That's a lot of how I got to be very large. Because at one time, when I was about 650 pounds, things kind of were what I felt were fine. I truly felt good about myself. I was comfortable with who I was. Worked at home online. I got groceries delivered. Everything was perfectly fine. Everything I needed was just a phone call away. Didn't have to deal with people's BS. They didn't have to. I didn't have to go out and intermingle with people if I didn't have to. I was safe in my four little walls. I could just come and go if I wanted to, or just stay and play games on my computer, or watch movies if I wanted to. Didn't have to do nothing. But the truth was, it was not as good as I thought it was. I'll keep the whole story kind of short, because it's a much bigger story. Definitely a longer tale. But whatever. One day, I had pizza delivered. I actually had pizza delivered just about every day at one point, because that was definitely a go-to. But honestly, this one particular day I had pizza delivered, and the delivery person took a look at me in the house and decided they needed to call the police for my well-being, because they didn't think I was in my right mind, apparently. So they called the police, and the police decided that they needed to arrest me, or they gave me the choice. I could be arrested or go to the hospital willingly. So I chose willingly, which was fine. And but so it was kind of like it was really an eye-opening experience, because it did help me in the long run. There's no doubt about that. But I tell you, when I got to the ambulance, when the police, I would say the police called the fire department and the ambulance, and I was like about 650 pounds, and I was, big bored, and they had to call the ambulance and everybody, and they felt that I needed, to shift that much weight. They needed a lot of people to help me out, but I was able to do it on my own steam, which they probably were pretty shocked about that. And because they had at least 20 people, 20 big hunky firemen come over to help me to help me move, to help me, lift me up. And that was kind of one thing I was always terrified of, was like being that TV news where they had to tear down the wall and take the fat man out of the house because he too big and can't get out of the house any other way. But no, I wasn't going to do that. So I was able to get myself out under my own steam, walked onto the ambulance, walked back off the ambulance and got to the hospital. And I'm sure that the police wanted me, they actually said that they wanted me to have a psych evaluation because they thought I was nuts. But screw them. The doctor thought I was just fine. Just lonely, sad, depressed. And from that point, they did start me on depression medication, and from that time, definitely was something that really did help me out. During the whole time too, they also got me. Who was it? The social workers got me in touch with quite a few people that I needed, and I was unable to, or I should say, I was unwilling, or I don't think I even knew how to ask, because I wasn't born that way. I mean, I wasn't brought up that way. If you needed things done, you do it, and for the most part, I did. But I was able to get started with regular doctor visits after all that stuff, and they got me on Medicare and Medicaid, and the disability too, within just a few weeks, which I know is kind of surprising, but when they have to call the police on you and all that kind of stuff, they kind of kick things up in a different direction. So I don't recommend it. No, don't do that. But with asking for help, though, it took me a long time, even after all of that, maybe another year or more, to ask for help about my weight. I think I was still very uncomfortable. I think I was actually very, very comfortable with who I was. I think that's the trap myself got into, because I was comfortable. I was very comfortable with who I was and where I was at, because I didn't have a lot of the diseases that get associated with being overweight. Now, don't take that incorrectly, because my path wasn't everybody's path, and you do get sick with being fat. Fat causes disease. Don't think otherwise, because fat does cause disease. I don't know if it was a combination of my genetics or just circumstance, at that point in my life, wasn't sick at that time. And so I was perfectly fine being that weight at the time. And I think many people perhaps fall in that same category, that not everybody sees or feels that sickness immediately, they don't get that sickness, so they're fine. But you're lying to yourself if you think that's going to last, because it's accumulative. It's very much an accumulative disease, and it'll catch up with you. For what it's worth, people who are content in their fat bodies, many people will die young if you stay in your fat body. When I never got the usual fat diseases, like I said, things like, I should explain that, say that a little more clearly, because like A1C, that's something associated with diabetes. My A1C was around 5. Normal is somewhere between 4 and 5, just throwing numbers out, just so I'm not being specific, so I'm just giving you some basics. And no, they're not. No, I'm not saying numbers that are actual scientific. No, I'm just giving you some numbers that'll help understand the big picture. Okay? 4 to 5, okay. 5 to 6, you're in danger. 6 and beyond, might as well. If you're not actively seeking help from a doctor, you got one foot in the grave, buddy. So just watch yourself. And so for myself, having my A1C around 5, less than 5, it's not typical, especially for someone who's over 650 pounds. And I'm a self-confessed sugar addict. I'm definitely addicted to sugar and food in general. And like I said, it's not typical. Even in my own family, my sister, my brother, mom, cousins, aunt, uncles, they've all got diabetes. Well, they do. I've never been diagnosed with diabetes, so there is that, knock on wood. And in part that's good, in part there's been difficulty with it. And we'll get into that now. We'll talk about that later. But what concerns me, I hear younger generations say that they love being fat, and those that preach that tolerance in all things, I can get behind in general. Those that are, I don't know, preaching tolerance in all things, it's a dangerous road. Be careful. Because you have adults who are deliberately lying for God knows what reason. Like doctors who are saying no, there's no correlation between fat and sickness. They're screwing with you for some reason. If that's political gain, for money, if that's something for someone to make money off of, which is the biggest reason I know of why people lie. Either money, sex, or politics, or all three. Go figure. And just the blatant audacity that these people have, that they're harming an entire generation of people. They're not even a moment taking a moment to tell the truth, that none of this is in any way going to be beneficial to humanity, especially to this young generation who they're just listening to these people. It's not just being fat, it's just so many things that you hear about on television. And you call it the left, but they're so left, they fell off the bridge. They really did. They're just floating out in space somewhere, and their little spaceships or whoever it is that's driving, they're just floating out there because they fell off a long time ago. That bridge, I don't know where it's happening, but they're not in any way, shape, or form helping anybody. But you need to please take a look at those kind of things. Talk to your doctor. If you don't feel comfortable with the doctor you have, find one that you will feel comfortable with. And there's certainly a lot of people that will help. Talk to social workers. And definitely go to someone over, I want to say put a number on, like anyone over 30, but my God, there's some people out there that are even older that you might think that you'd think have their best interest in heart at mind, but I don't know. You can't trust a lot of people these days. So you just be careful. Maybe we can talk. We'll talk more. Yeah, that's it. You come back here. Yeah, come tomorrow. Yeah. You get a hug from your fat man, and I'll steer you right. That's right. Well, I hope we can open your eyes to. I hope I did open some eyes at least. I'll work on my talk, and we'll give you some more. Listen, and I want you to have a safe, healthy. Make it a delicious day, but a fat-free. Well, not fat-free. Put a little fat in there. You deserve it. Something sweet and delicious and tasty, but make it healthy. And I'll see you next time. Please like, comment, and share, and we'll talk soon.